Hello, hello, hello. I would say good morning, but it's no longer morning here. It's actually in the evening. My morning musing had technical difficulties, and I am repeating the musing. The musing today is a reported spiritual encounter that George Washington had, actually. And I'm probably going to skip a little bit, but start out reading the editor's note. It says the following is an account of a vision supposedly received by George Washington while at Valley Forge. The earliest publication of this vision was in 1859. That's a while back. As it was related by an old soldier. Now, that old soldier's name, I guess, is Anthony Sherman because it mentions it later on, July of 1859. The account here is reprinted from the U.S. War Veterans paper called the National Tribune from the December 1880 edition. The article was also reprinted on December 21st, 1950. Now, I ran across this on the internet some 25 years ago, and just a year or two ago, it just kind of came back, thinking about the times we're in and how pertinent it could be. And reading through it, you could question, is that now or is it something in the future? But it really encourages me that God has spoken to us. He has plans, I say for every nation, but I'm grateful for the plans He has for the United States, where I was born and raised, and the plans for places that put God first. When leaders put God first, and when nations put God first, He responds in kind. If you honor Him, He will honor you. If you lightly esteem Him, God will lightly esteem you. So here it is. It says, one day, I remember it well. The chilly winds whistled through the leafless trees. Though the sky was cloudless and the sun shone brightly, he remained in his quarters nearly all afternoon alone, speaking about George Washington. When he came out, I noticed his face was a shade paler than usual, and seemed to be something on his mind more than the ordinary importance. Returning just after dusk, he dispatched an orderly to the quarters of an officer who was presently in attendance. After a preliminary conversation of about half an hour, Washington gazed upon his companion with a strange look of dignity, which he alone could command, and said to the latter, I do not know whether it is owing to the anxiety of my mind or what, but this afternoon, as I was sitting at this table engaged in preparing a dispatch, someone in the apartment, or something in the apartment, seemed to disturb me. Looking up, I beheld standing opposite me a singularly beautiful being. So astonished was I, for I had given strict orders not to be disturbed, that it was some moments before I found the language to inquire the cause of the visit. A second, a third, and even a fourth time did I repeat my question, but received no answer from my mysterious visitor, except a slight raising of the eyes. I always find it interesting how God, when He sends angels, you'll find some accounts that people give. I can't think of any scriptural accounts right now, but where when people respond to them in a way that does not progress what their mission is, the angel doesn't do anything. Sometimes they'll sit there waiting for the angel to do something, and the angel's waiting for them to do something, right? So here he's asking these questions, and this being, he says, which is probably an angel, is just like, hmm, hmm, you know. Carry on. By this time, I felt strange sensations spreading through me. I would have risen, but the riveted gaze of the being before me rendered volition impossible. I essayed once more to speak, but my tongue became useless, as if paralyzed. A new influence, mysterious, potent, irresistible, took possession of me. All I could do was to gaze steadily, vacantly, at my unknown visitor. Gradually, the surrounding atmosphere seemed to fill with sensations and grew luminous. Everything about me seemed to rarefy, the mysterious visitor also becoming more airy and yet more distinct to my eyes than before. I began to feel as one dying, or rather to experience the sensations which I have sometimes imagined accompany death. I did not think, I did not reason, I did not move. All were alike impossible. I was only conscious of gazing fixedly, vacantly at my companion. Now that sounds a lot like Peter's trance. When they talk about a trance, it's like he was like struck, dumbstruck, almost paralyzed, but seeing things. I won't say paralyzed because that has a bad connotation. Presently, I heard a voice saying, "Son of the Republic, look and learn," while at the same time my visitor extended an arm eastward. I now beheld a heavy white vapor at some distance, rising fold upon fold. This gradually dissipated, and I looked upon a strange scene. Before me lay spread out in one vast plain all the countries of the world: Europe, Asia, Africa, and America. I saw rolling and tossing between Europe and America the billows of the Atlantic, and between Asia and America lay the Pacific. "Son of the Republic," said the same mysterious voice as before, "look and learn." At that moment I behold a dark, shadowy being, like an angel, standing, or rather floating, mid-air between Europe and America. Dipping water out of the ocean, in the hollow of each hand he sprinkled some upon America with his right hand, while with his left he cast some over Europe. Immediately a cloud arose from these countries and joined mid-ocean. For a while it remained stationary, and then it moved slowly westward until enveloped America in its murky folds. Sharp flashes of lightning gleamed through it at intervals, and I heard the smothering groans and cries of the American people. Now, this might be interpreted to have been the Revolutionary War that was at that time in progress. Now, this was at Valley Forge, actually. So, a second time, the angel dipped water from the ocean and sprinkled it out as before. A dark cloud was then drawn back into the ocean, in whose heaving billows it sank from view. A third time, I heard the mysterious voice say, "Son of the Republic, look and learn." I cast my eyes upon America and beheld villages and towns and cities springing up, one after the other, until the whole land, from the Atlantic to the Pacific, was dotted with them. Again I heard the mysterious voice say, "Son of the Republic, the end of the century cometh. Look and learn." And this time the dark, shadowy angel turned his face southward. From Africa I saw an ill-omened spectre approach our land. It flitted slowly and heavily over every town and city of the latter. The inhabitants presently set themselves in battle array against each other. As I continued looking, I saw a bright angel on whose brow rested a crown of light, on which was traced the word Union. It's an angel with the word Union on a crown on his head. He was bearing the American flag. He placed the flag between the divided nation and said, "Remember, you are brethren." Immediately, the inhabitants, casting down their weapons, became friends once more and united around the national standard. Again, I heard the mysterious voice saying, "Son of the Republic, look and learn." At this, the dark, shadowy angel placed a trumpet to his mouth and blew 3 distinct blasts, and taking water from the oceans, he sprinkled it upon Europe, Asia, and Africa. Then my eyes beheld a fearful scene. From each of these continents arose thick black clouds that were soon joined into one, and throughout this mass there gleamed a dark red light, by which I saw hordes of armed men. These men, moving with the cloud, marched by land and sailed by sea to America, which country was enveloped in the volume of the cloud. And I dimly saw these vast armies devastate the whole country and burn the villages, towns, and cities which I had seen springing up. As my ears listened to the thundering of the cannon, clashing of swords, and shouts and cries of millions in mortal combat, I again heard the mysterious voice saying, "Son of the Republic, look and learn." When the voice had ceased, the dark, shadowy angel placed his trumpet once more to his mouth and blew a long and fearful blast. Instantly, a light as of 1,000 suns shone down from above me, pierced and broke into fragments the dark cloud which enveloped America. At the same moment, the angel upon whose head still shone the word Union, and who bore the national flag in one hand and the sword in the other, descended from the heavens, attended by legions of white spirits. These immediately joined the inhabitants of America, who I perceive were well nigh overcome, but who immediately taking courage again, closed up their broken ranks and renewed the battle. Again, amid the fearful noise of conflict, I heard the mysterious voice saying, Son of the Republic, look and learn. As the voice ceased, the shadowy angel, for the last time, dipped water from the ocean and sprinkled it upon America. Instantly, the dark cloud rolled back, together with the armies it had brought, leaving the inhabitants of the land victorious. Then once more I beheld villages, towns, and cities springing up where I had seen them before, while the bright angel, planting the azure standard he had brought in the midst of them, cried with a loud voice, While the stars remain and the heavens send down dew upon the earth, so long shall the Union last. And taking from his brow the crown on which blazoned the word Union, he placed it upon the standard, while the people kneeling down said, Amen. The scene instantly began to fade and dissolve, and I at last saw nothing but the rising, curling vapor I had at first beheld. This also disappeared, and I found myself once more gazing upon the mysterious visitor, who with the same voice I had heard before said, Son of the Republic, what you have seen is thus interpreted. 3 great perils will come upon the Republic. The most fearful is her third. But the whole world united shall not prevail against her. Sorry, this gets me kind of excited. Let every child of the Republic learn to live for his God, his land, and Union. With these words, the vision vanished, and I started from my seat and felt that I had seen a vision wherein had been shown me the birth, the progress, and the destiny of the United States. Such, my friends, the veritable narrator, talking about the old, Anthony Sherman speaking, concluded, were the words I heard from Washington's own lips, and America will do well to profit by them. I hope that encourages you. That God has a plan. He has seen ahead. He sees ahead. He is Jehovah Jireh, the God who sees ahead and makes provision for us. And we can put our trust in him. Amen. Be blessed.